Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor Edwards, and in today's video I'm going to be showing a couple of different ways that we can take the paradiddle sticking and apply it to the drum set. Now the paradiddle is one of the most basic rudiments that we learn once we start drumming because it's simply a combination of two singles and a double. A right-handed paradiddle, the sticking is right, left, right, right, and the opposite is true for a left-handed paradiddle, left, right, left, left. Now, when we typically learn this rudiment, we learn it with an accent on the first note of each four-note grouping. It sounds like this. Now this accent pattern is very nice when you're just starting out learning the paradiddle, and it's typically how the paradiddle is written if you play any sort of drumline music or a lot of snare drum literature as well. But on drum set, we're going to experiment with putting some accents in some different spots within the paradiddle and moving it around to different surfaces to really make more melodic use out of this sticking. But first, let's start by just sticking with that accent pattern. I'm going to accent the first note of each four-note grouping, and I'm simply going to move my right hand to the hi-hat, keep my left hand on the snare drum, and play my bass drum anytime I play a right-handed accent. This is going to turn this sticking into a very simple paradiddle groove that I'm sure you've all heard before. Now when I'm playing this, I'm really focusing on making sure that I'm getting a good downstroke on each of these accents to control my low notes on all of the other notes in the sticking. Let's play it a little bit faster. We can also apply this groove by moving our right hand to the ride cymbal. Now, if you don't control your stick heights and you play everything the same volume, you end up with a pattern that sounds something like this. When all the notes are equal in volume, there's a lot less melodic shaping that takes place, and the groove just doesn't feel nearly as nice. Now, what if we apply that paradiddle sticking to playing a fill? I'm going to move the accents around to different surfaces on the drum set while keeping all of the unaccented notes on the snare drum. Let's try it a little bit faster. So just by taking that one accent pattern, we already have tons of different ways that we can move the sticking around when we're playing fills. Now, what would happen if we add one extra accent to our sticking here? What I'm going to do is accent the right hand, that is the second note of my left-handed paradiddle. So now my overall sticking looks like this. If I split this up between the hi-hat and the snare drum and still keep my bass drum following every right hand accent, we now have a groove that sounds like this. Now you can probably already hear that this is starting to get a lot more funky once we start accenting notes that don't necessarily fall on the downbeat. Let's take that same accent pattern and apply it to fills now as well. Let's try it a little faster. Alright, one more accent pattern I'm going to give to you all is if you accent every single right hand and still keep the left hand backbeat on 2 and 4. And my bass drum is still going to follow every right hand accent. So our sticking is now going to look like this. As a groove, it's going to sound like this. Now let's put some fills with it. Try it a little faster. So give these different paradiddle applications a try. Let me know what you think of these concepts down in the comments, and as always, if you appreciate the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks everyone.